BMW International Open, which is taking place from the 23rd of June. The Women's PGA Championship is doubling the size of its purse to $9 million. Another boost to a women's game that brings prize money for the 5 majors to nearly triple the amount from a decade ago. The increase in prize money for the LPGA Tour's second oldest major is a 300% increase from 2014. The Women's PGA Championship starts Thursday at Congressional Country Club, which has hosted the US Open 3 times. The winner will get $1.35 million.
You know, a couple girls already said to me how amazing it is, and you know, I did know it was coming. I didn't know it was going to be quite this big. I knew it was going to be big, but not quite this big, and it's amazing. I mean, I don't know how many times you can say it.
The USGA signed a presenting sponsor, nearly doubling the purse of what already was the largest of the LPGA majors. $10 million that paid $1.8 million to Minjee Lee when she won at Pine Needles.
I think personally, yes, because we haven't really had the opportunity, but obviously now that we do, I think maybe it feels a bit more special to be here, and maybe we can like create our own history from now. Yeah.
Right. The 5 majors have now all seen significant prize money increases this year, with a combined total of $37.3 million. In 2012, the same 5 tournaments had a combined prize purse of only $13.75 million. Nelly Corder is the defending champion, winning last year at Atlanta Athletic Club to reach number 1 for the first time.
I'm just happy to be out here playing competitive golf, and I gave myself a chance last week, and if you told me that when I was laying in the ER, I would have definitely been very happy with that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's NBA. Each season, the players are fighting for access to the playoffs.
what a drive inside.
But in this fight, only the strongest wins.
How great was that?
Some start their career, and some ends.
Throws it down.
Any problem can lead to injury or fight.
Houdini, yes, glass, caught the rim.
It is what it is. Hashtag Mzansi Slam Dunk. Catch the NBA live on SABC Sport Channel on DTT, OpenView 124, SABC 1, and also available on Telkom 1. Brought to you by SABC Sport. SABC Sport.
Craig Overton hailed his brother's call-up to the England squad as phenomenal after his twin Jamie was added for the 3rd and final test against New Zealand. The 28-year-olds are part of a 14-man squad for Thursday's Headingley Test and could become the first twins to play Test cricket together for England.
I didn't know anything about it until he phoned me sort of 10 minutes before Baz put a message on the group saying, welcome Jamie. So yeah, it's a special him being included, and so both of us being in the same squad is yeah, it's pretty phenomenal really, and we'll just take it in our stride this week and see what happens, and it's just nice to have a familiar face around as well. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's nice having a familiar face, but like you sort of know everyone, play against everyone, you sort of know everyone anyway, so it's not like it's completely different. Obviously I've got a few faces from Surrey around as well, which is nice to have. But yes, it's nice having a few faces in the change room that you know for sure. I think any sibling rivalry, you're always going to have a little bit of extra spice. Knowing me and Craig, we're probably even spicier than a lot of people. So I think it's always going to heat up a little bit when we play against each other. But it's all that competitive edge. It's a nice thing.
England captain Ben Stokes missed Tuesday's training session before the 3rd test against New Zealand because he felt unwell. The all-rounder, who returned a negative coronavirus test, travelled to Leeds from his home in the northeast, while the squad trained at Headingley. If Stokes is ruled out, Joe Root would be an option to step in for one match with pace bowler Stuart Broad, another candidate for the captaincy. James Anderson could be rested, with Matthew Potts may also sit out, and that could see pace bowlers Craig and Jamie Overton become the first twin brothers to play Test cricket for England. Of the two 28-year-olds, Craig is 3 minutes older and has played 8 tests, whereas Jamie would be in line for his debut. England hold an unassailable 2-0 lead in the series, with the final test starting on Thursday. India trained at Grace Road on Tuesday as part of their preparations for the upcoming series against England. Rahul Dravid kept a close eye on training as his side geared up for the test with a warm-up match against Leicestershire on Thursday. India are the current second-ranked test side and are scheduled to play England in 1 test, 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20 internationals in July. The only test match of the tour is the rescheduled tests for the 5-match test series during India's tour of England in 2021. Sri Lanka beat Australia by 4 runs in a tense one-day international that went down to the final ball in Colombo on Tuesday night to take an unassailable 3-1 lead in the 5-match series. Put into bat, Sri Lanka recovered from 34 for 3 thanks to a knock of 110 from Charit Asalanka and Dhananjay De Silva's 60 to give the hosts a respectable total of 258. In reply, the Australians needed 5 off the final ball, but Sri Lankan bowler Dusan Senaka kept his nerve to see Sri Lanka over the line. The final ODI will also be played in Colombo on Friday before Australia play 2 tests in Galle starting on the 29th of June. Anthony Joshua on Tuesday said he was hoping to be the comeback king as he looked to defeat Alexander Usyk in their August 20th heavyweight rematch in order to set up a meeting with fellow Briton Tyson Fury. Ukrainian Usyk's WBA Super, IBF, WBO and IBO belts will be on the line against the former champion Joshua, with the bout taking place in the coastal city of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The Ukrainian beat Joshua in front of a sellout crowd in September last year, but the 32-year-old will have a chance to win back his titles in a fight dubbed Rage on the Red Sea.
Credit where credit's due. I'm not a hater. You know, I respect people in their craft. I respect him in his craft and what he's achieved. So that only should motivate me to want to get better, right? So if I'm around someone that's better than me on the night or better than me in certain aspects, I have to motivate myself and push myself to be better than them. And that's all it's done, really. And the great thing is I've got a second chance. Like, what got me into boxing in the first place, when I was a youngster, I got in a little bit of trouble now and again. And, you know, I was blessed with a second chance. And I found boxing and I took it with both hands. So if you know me and a lot of my story, you can know I'm the comeback king. You can put me down, but it's difficult to keep me down.
Я ніколи не робив гучних замов.
I never made some very loud and bright speeches.
Я просто трудився і виконував свою роботу в своєму тренувальному лагері.
All I did is I just worked hard in my training camp, in my gym.
Те, що я буду робити на протязі цього часу до поєдинку.
That's what I'm gonna do until the date of the fight.
А потім я вийду і буду радувати вас своїм боксом.
And then I will enter the ring and will make you happy with my boxing.
Thank you.
The final price tag for last year's COVID-delayed Tokyo Olympics was put at $13 billion, the organizing committee said Tuesday in its final act before it dissolved at the end of the month. The cost was twice what was forecast in 2013 when Tokyo was awarded the Games. However, the final price tag presented by organizers is lower than the $15.4 billion they predicted when the Olympics ended just under 11 months ago. Japanese government entities, primarily the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, covered about 55% of the total expenses, which amounted to about $7.1 billion in Japanese taxpayer money. The privately funded organizing committee budgets covered about $5.9 billion. The International Olympic Committee contributed $1.3 billion to this budget, with the largest contribution of $3.4 billion coming from local sponsors. Organizers also listed $500 million in income from an unspecified insurance payout. A University of Oxford study in 2020 said Tokyo was the most expensive Olympics on record. Pope Francis may have cancelled his planned trip to Congo because of a bad knee, but he had a surprise visit on Tuesday from one of DR Congo's brightest basketball stars, Biyombo, who briefed him on his humanitarian efforts back home.
For me, it's one of the dreams come true because you grow up as a kid, you know, you have faith in God in the Catholic Church, and just being able to be in the presence of the Pope, I think it's a blessing. You know, I wish could have brought my mom here, but she's absolutely happy that I got to be able to do that and get a Pope blessing.
The 6'9" Phoenix Suns star towered above the Argentine Pope, even as he stood for photos. The 85-year-old has been using a wheelchair to get around after straining ligaments in his right knee. He had to postpone a planned July 2nd to 7th visit to the DR Congo and South Sudan because doctors said the trip would jeopardize his therapy.
I think it's normal. I've postponed trip too, but again, it's the Pope. You know, if he's not feeling good, you can't put him on a plane. But I figure since he could go to Congo, I will bring Congo him. No, but that's not true. I think, you know, the most important thing is his health. You know, so is everyone, but he's a very important part of our society. And I think, you know, if the trip is postponed, it's absolutely fine, and I think it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of time. But I know people in Congo are very excited, and they're going to continue to be patient. They have been patient for years, and I don't think it's going to matter to continue to be patient. And when the time is right, I'm sure you'll visit, and we'll all being able to experience that with him in Congo. So yeah, I look forward to that.
SABC Sport has got you covered with sport at 10 every Wednesday evening. It's live on SABC Sport channel, also on Open View channel 124, SABC 1, as well as on Telkom 1.